What would you do if a hotel called the police on you, not knowing you were the real owner of the building? The lobby of the Grand Imperial Hotel was buzzing with the sound of rolling suitcases and chatter from wealthy travelers. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, and the marble floors shone as guests checked in for their luxury stays. Into this world walked Marcus Wright, a black man in his 40s, dressed casually in jeans and a polo shirt. He looked like any ordinary traveler, except he wasn't. Marcus approached the front desk with a calm smile. "I have a reservation under Wright." The receptionist glanced at him, her expression changing from polite to suspicious in an instant. "Sir, this is a 5-star property. Are you sure you're in the right place?" Marcus raised an eyebrow but kept his cool. "Yes, reservation for Marcus Wright." Before he could continue, the hotel manager stepped in, a tall man with a smug smile. He looked Marcus up and down, then whispered something to the receptionist, who giggled nervously. The manager folded his arms. "We've had issues with trespassers lately. Going to have to ask you to leave before this gets embarrassing." Heads turned in the lobby. Guests whispered, some recording on their phones. Marcus remained calm. "I have the confirmation right here," he said, pulling out his phone. But the manager cut him off, his tone louder now. "Security," barked. "Escort this man out before I call the police." The security guards stepped forward, towering over Marcus. One guest muttered loudly, "Probably can't afford this place anyway." Laughter followed. Marcus's jaw tightened, but his voice stayed even. "You're making a mistake." The manager smirked. "The only mistake was you walking into this hotel." Then, pulling out his phone dramatically, he added, "Fine. If you won't leave, I'll call the police myself." Gasps filled the air. Guests crowded around, eager for drama. The hotel lobby had become a stage, and Marcus was being humiliated at its center. But what the staff and everyone else didn't know was that Marcus's Wright wasn't just another guest. He was the billionaire real estate mogul who owned the very building they were standing in. And tonight, the lesson was about to begin. What happens when the man you call the police on owns the very hotel you work for? The hotel manager stood smugly by the front desk, phone pressed to his ear. "Yes, we have a trespasser." "Send officers immediately," he said loudly, making sure the entire lobby heard. Guests shook their heads in disapproval at Marcus, whispering judgments based only on what they saw. The security guards tightened their grip near Marcus, ready to drag him out. But Marcus didn't resist. He simply sat down on one of the velvet lobby chairs, crossing his legs with calm authority. His phone buzzed in his hand and, with a single swipe, he made a call. "Daniel," he said firmly, "initiate the transfer, effective immediately. I want the staff list ready." The guards exchanged confused looks. The manager frowned. "What kind of game are you playing?" Within minutes, the revolving glass doors spun open, and a team of suited lawyers entered, followed by a senior executive of the hotel chain. Their presence shifted the entire atmosphere. The crowd hushed. Even the manager's smug grin faltered. "Mr. Wright," the executive said respectfully, shaking Marcus's hand, "everything has been processed. The Imperial is officially under your ownership as of this evening." He turned to the shocked staff. "From now on, all decisions here answer to Mr. Wright." The lobby went silent. Phones stopped recording for a moment as people tried to process what they'd just heard. The waiter who had mocked Marcus earlier dropped his tray. The security guard stepped back instantly, realizing the man they were about to throw out was now their boss. The manager, however, stammered, "Tith, this must be a mistake." "You can't possibly." Marcus stood, his calm composure now sharp as steel. "The mistake," he said evenly, "was judging someone by the color of their skin instead of the name on the deed." The executive handed Marcus a thick folder, stamped and signed. The proof of ownership. Crowd gasped again, some clapping in shock, others lowering their heads in shame. The manager's face turned pale. He tried to laugh it off. We were just following procedure, sir." Marcus's eyes narrowed. "Procedure? Calling the police on a paying guest? Humiliating me in front of everyone?" His voice grew colder. "No, this wasn't procedure. This was prejudice." The staff shifted nervously. The manager's arrogance was gone, replaced with panic. Marcus stepped closer, his voice firm enough for the entire lobby to hear. "You wanted to embarrass me in public? Then watch how this ends." In public, he tried to throw him out. but ended up being thrown out himself. The entire lobby had gone silent, every guest leaning in to hear Marcus's next words. The manager's face was flushed, his confidence gone, sweat dripping from his forehead. The same security guards who had been ready to drag Marcus out now looked at him with wide, uneasy eyes. Marcus slowly turned to the crowd. "You all witnessed how I was treated tonight, not as a guest, not even as a human being. I was treated like a criminal for daring to walk into a hotel that I own." His words echoed off the marble walls, cutting through the silence like a knife. Gasps rippled through the lobby. A few guests clapped softly in support. Others lowered their eyes, embarrassed by the laughter and judgment they had joined in earlier. Marcus then faced the manager directly. "You embarrassed me in front of strangers. Called the police on me with no reason but your prejudice. Now, you will face the same humiliation you tried to inflict on me." He signaled to the executives. The man stepped forward, holding a folder. "Effective immediately," the executive announced clearly. "The manager, the receptionist, and all staff involved in this incident are terminated from their positions. Security will escort you out." The manager's jaw dropped. You can't do this," he stammered, his voice shaking. Marcus's gaze was cold, unflinching. The lobby erupted in whispers and shocked gasps. Security now following Marcus. Orders escorted the trembling manager and staff out the same glass doors they had tried to push Marcus through. The humiliation was complete, and every phone in the room captured their walk of shame. Marcus turned back to the remaining staff and the guests. "Let this be a lesson," he said firmly. "A hotel, a restaurant, or any business does not succeed because of chandeliers or marble floors. It succeeds because of respect. Without that, you have nothing." The crowd, stunned and moved, began clapping. Some even stood in ovation. A few approached Marcus to apologize for judging him too quickly. He simply nodded, calm and dignified, reminding them that his goal was not revenge, but justice.
Bro.
As he finally picked up his keycard and headed toward the elevator, Marcus left behind a message that would spread far beyond those walls. Respect is not optional. It is the foundation of everything.